Hello everyone, I am Plankara. Today we're going to continue rigging Shalom for Path to Nowhere. We started the Y direction. I think down is looking pretty okay, but up is, it needs some work. So much so that I think I'm actually just going to start over. But I did take a look at how other people handled some of this stuff, and I've been thinking about how I want to approach it. And it seems like to me, the first step to getting a good upward direction is just to make sure that the eyes move a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that they move a bit. I'm not going to move anything else. Not yet. Just eye stuff. Gonna try 10. And if it seems like they're moving okay, then, and only then, will I start moving some other stuff around. Let's see here. So everything's going to be looking a bit funny at the beginning, but as long as it looks like the eyes are moving a little bit, yeah, there we go. This should be a decent height. Because I think that was part of the problem that I was having last time, where the eyes themselves didn't actually look like they were moving. It looked like they were stuck in place. And now I'll start moving some of the other stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have just unset everything. Maybe I should have kept the nose, because I actually did like the way the nose looked. But that should be okay. I can remake the nose. And then I also don't think I have to be quite as worried about getting like the mouth and stuff closer to the nose. Having it a little bit further away should look fine. Maybe. It's okay. I'll tweak some of that stuff after. Right now, I am just very concerned about the chin here. So now that I've gotten the basics down, I'm just going to try to get a good chin shape. Facial perspective is one of those things that I find difficult even in my regular art, so it's hard. Ah. Hello there, Preeti. This is a model that I'm just making for fun. So yes, it is another model. I'm using official art from Path to Nowhere. Do it. I just cut it all up and decided to make a model out of it for fun. I probably will not use it myself, just because it is a copyrighted character. But I do intend to release the finished version out there for people to use if they feel like it. Currently, just doing the Y direction, and I always have a bit of trouble going up here. So I'm keeping it fairly small. Yeah, definitely not as much upward movement as any of my other directions, but I think that's okay. So far I'm pretty happy with how things are coming out. Alright, so I kind of want to make this area a little bit wider and flatter. And then have things get a little bit narrower near the top. Just because that's how perspective works. Back of the head is going a little bit further away from us. So that should help a bit, maybe. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. I think I actually will raise the eyes a little bit more. Maybe I can push the angle just a little bit harder here. Let's try 14. I'm feeling ambitious today. $15. And then do the same with the nose. And the mouth. Okay, now we'll see if I die for my hubris. But no, looks like we're doing okay. Still looks okay. Alright. have the basics of the jaw there, so I'm going to start getting some of the other changes in here. Just some of the other little perspective things. I always like to squish down the eyes a little bit. Because we're seeing things from the bottom here. Want to... Where are my eyelids? Here we are. Raise this up a little bit. Maybe do 3. Yeah, there we go. And we'll do 3 here. Although with the way that looks, it should be covered up by hair, so it's probably not that big a deal, but it's gonna bother me, so I think rather than do it like that, we see eyelid. Rather than do it like this, do I transform Y here? Okay. Oh, wait, do I have this backwards? I do have it backwards. That's right, when you look down, you see more of the eyelid. Yes. Up, you see less of the eyelid. Okay. I was gonna say that, because it was kind of lifting up here and looking strange, I was just gonna deform it instead, but then I remember that I have this backwards, so we're actually moving it down 3, not up 3. So there we go. Move this down a little bit. Just enough to show a sliver. Alright, now I want to do the shape of the nose. A little bit sad that I just didn't keep the version I had before. But that's okay. I'll just remake it. It's not that big a deal. Just a small brush for this because I'm adjusting a small area. Just want to lift up the shadow here so that it looks like we're seeing more of the bottom of the nose. So I made the nostrils bigger for that reason as well. So now with any luck, it'll look like her nose is pointing more upward. There we go. A little bit more, I think. Just a little bit more. Yeah. And then just kind of clean up the sides here. There we go. Yeah. Now it's looking more like her head is tilting upward a bit. And then one other thing I wanted to try based on some stuff that I was seeing people do yesterday is I want to maybe rotate the eyes just a little bit. Yeah, 2 seems reasonable. I thought that made the perspective a little bit more convincing in some other people's models when I was watching them. I wanted to try it too. For the amount of angle that I have here, I think actually 9.5 on the squish instead of just 9 will look a little bit better. I'm not moving it that far. Alright, I think the eye sockets look a little bit too high. A lot of this is a bit of trial and error for me still. So I'm just gonna try things and see what happens, see if I like it. I have some idea of what I'm doing, but I can always try some more things. Alright, I think I need to bring the mouth up a little bit more. I'm not sure if I need to bring the nose up a bit more. Let me just stare at this for a second. Just let her do a little nod. Little nod for a second there. While I figure out what I'm doing. Alright, still a little bit too much in the eye sockets. Let's push them down a little bit. No, let's do 10. Let's do 10. Okay, maybe 11 is better. Just having to do a lot of thinking here. There's a lot to take in. There we go. Yeah, I think that's starting to look pretty good. I think I want to lift the nose up just a little bit more. Just a little. Maybe like 20. Probably means I want to raise the mouth a little bit too. Maybe something like this. Then I'll see if I can figure out the chin. But this is already looking a lot better than yesterday, so I will take it. Better than yesterday is the first step. I think I'm actually gonna lower this down a little bit too. Just a little bit more. Because I'm kind of liking the effect. But I don't want it to be too strong, of course. Yeah, there we go. Just keeping it simple. So now I'm just going to make some slight adjustments to the upper lip here. And then maybe on the corner here. One tap down. Yeah. So all these little adjustments that I'm doing of just hopefully making it look like her head is actually moving upward here. Just little perspective tricks. Because it's like if you think about your head, or if you just look into a mirror real quick, you'll notice that when you look up, some of these areas are more prominent or less prominent based on that. So like, you'd see more of the lower eyes, but not as much of the upper eyes, which is why I'm lowering her eyelids and having them hide behind her eyes a little bit more. And why you're seeing more of the bottom of the nose here, and more of this shadow underneath the mouth. And that kind of thing. Those kinds of things I think are more visible when you're looking at someone from below. A little bit more of their chin and stuff. Debating on whether or not the nose is high enough. I feel like it should be a little bit closer to the eyes. Still just kind of feeling my way through. Although I continue to be a little bit worried on what I'm going to do with this chin here. I'm very, very afraid after what happened yesterday. It's like nothing terrible happened, it just looked really weird. I shouldn't be so worried. But here I am. It's fine. Alright, I'm gonna grab a really, really big brush here. Maybe not that big. Alright, moment of truth. I'm gonna raise the chin up here. See if everything still looks good. Okay, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I've got this totally under control. We're good. Everything's totally okay. In fact, I think I can get away with moving the mouth just a little bit higher. Even if it means I have to move the chin higher too. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now I can focus on getting the jaw shape looking nice. I think I mostly have everything in place now. This is where it can be helpful to just look at what other people are doing for inspiration. And I looked up some other live 2D head angle charts and stuff like that, and just trying to figure out where I went wrong yesterday, and I think I have succeeded. I am much happier with how today's is turning out. Much, much happier. The hard part is going to be making the head symmetrical. That's going to be rough. I'll do my best. Still feel like I kind of want this right side just a bit higher up here. Not like that. Looks like I kind of accidentally smoothed out her jaw a little bit there. Let's go in a little bit closer and try to fix some of the vertices around here. Oh god. I made this mesh very, very fine so that I could deform it well. But now it's just going to be a complete pain to work with. The hazards of trying to do things well. Okay. And it's alright. I got this. Okay. That should have fixed a lot of that issue there. Just doing some staring here. Trying to figure out if I'm going about this right. I think I might have pushed her cheeks in a little bit too far. I think I really want to work out the jaw first, though, because, I mean, that's super lopsided. So let's work out that first. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is, if any of you were watching what I did with the mouth, what I do is I just scale this back and forth between 1 and -1 to kind of help me figure out where things are not looking too great. And then I go in and arm the parameter and adjust things accordingly. Seems like the chin has to be a little bit further this way. And unfortunately, I can't really take away the vertices while I'm adjusting things here. I'm not sure if that's a feature that they have planned, now that they have the brush. But sometimes it can be a little bit hard to see exactly where the art is when I have the vertices on. So I just kind of gotta do my best. See what I can figure out here. And then I just kind of want to make sure that her jaw is as symmetrical as I can make it, and that all these other areas on the sides here, like you can see this one has a bit of a lump coming out here. But that might actually end up being somewhat necessary, depending on how I want to handle the cheeks, but this is a little bit too lumpy. If anything, the lump for the cheek should be more like here. But before I go too deep into that, I really do want to get the jaw looking right. Alright, going in. Gonna go in and smooth all this out. I still feel like it's a little lopsided here. I'm using the mouth here as the landmark to try to figure out where everything should be. I'm gonna have to smooth out some of these vertices too. Getting a little lumpy right here. That's alright. We'll just slowly get rid of all the lumps and as much asymmetry as I can manage. So you can see the angle here looks very different from the angle here. I think this side is a bit higher than this side. Which side do I like better? Probably this one. So that means I should probably raise this one over here. Push this in a little, lift this up. Might need the path deform tool to help me out in a few places here. Don't think I should worry too much about anything other than getting this part right. And once I have this part right, I can worry about the other spots, because I will have a clear anchor point where I know that everything below is looking good, so I can use that to gauge where everything is relative to each other more easily. Alright. Was just thinking for a second there. Trying to figure out how I'm going to get the angle on the chin here good. I think I'm going to switch sides again. Basically flip the image horizontally. Yeah, we're still super lopsided. I guess before I do anything else, I should just get this chin in the right place. So I'm going to flip back and forth a lot. I'm going to do a lot of flipping. But it looks like I'm at least pretty close to having the chin in the right spot. Okay, no, that's fine. What I'm seeing squirm about is just the jaw itself. I kind of want to make sure that everything over here is good. Looks like they're at roughly the same height. Yeah. Okay. So I think they're at roughly the same height, so I probably have everything good there. Let me get a bit of a smaller brush here. Pull this out just a little bit more. Trying to do the same thing on both sides when I'm not correcting and I'm just making a change that should apply to both sides. Like there's some times where I'm correcting asymmetry. Okay, but that was trying something, but I don't think it looks good. Let's go back to the way it was before. I was saying if I needed to pull out her jaw anymore, but no, I think this is perfect. Anything, maybe I should push it back in a little, but no, I think this is fine. You can see that compared to her front view here, I'm making the jaw kind of flatter and a little bit more prominent. That's because it's more like you're looking underneath here. I'm looking forward to putting the shadows on it. I think that'll sell the effect a little bit better. And after that, I might visit Krita for a second to put in a mask for myself to use. Alright, before I get back on the jaw here, I want to go... I was looking at the nose again. I think I want to shorten this a little. Yeah. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. I want to look at my downturn too. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Okay. Back to working on jaw symmetry. Sometimes I just need a break from looking at that. Because, oh man, can it get very fiddly. I do look forward to when they add the ability to mirror deformations, even when they're on the same layer. That'll be a very nice feature to have, I think. Okay. So I think here, need to just very, very lightly push that in. Not too much. Just a teeny tiny bit. Get this a little bit more symmetrical. No, we don't need it to be double negative. Me putting in the negative sign when it was already negative, and it's just like, yes, negative, -1. That's a great number. So from here, it's just time for some tiny adjustments. I just want to make sure that the angle from the chin up to the corner of the jaw here is the same on both sides. On this side, it was a little bit different. A little bit lumpy there. Still a little bit lumpy, but I want to check the angles here before I start smoothing things out too much. Much like in art, I do find it useful to have a bit of a sketch just to make sure that everything is going right. Alright, I'm gonna push this little corner in just a teeny tiny bit. And then here, I think I want to flatten out this area just a bit. I feel like I've been doing a lot of art experimentation lately, and it actually feels pretty good. Like I've been drawing some stuff on my own. And today I'm doing some, or today, I will continue to do what I started yesterday in some fun experimentation with lighting. I never really did that much with room lighting, and I always felt like that was something I wanted to try a little bit more deliberately. And so I did, and I think it looks pretty cool. Still kind of wondering if I can push it a little bit further than I have in that piece, but... well, I guess that's what today's for. Today will be a good day for trying new things. Every day is a good day for trying new things, but... today is the day I will actually be doing it. And I've been having a good time. This picture's been kind of fun for me because not only does it feel like it's been kind of an eternity since I've actually drawn any of my own characters, even though strictly speaking it hasn't. I mean, I did an entire character sheet for one just a couple of months ago. Well, not even that, but that was fun. But this is just a normal illustration. And the experiment that I'm doing here is I'm trying to draw the same illustration 3 different ways. Just 3 different styles. And it's been a lot of fun to do. I really only have the first one done, but... so I'll probably be starting on the second version of it shortly. Not sure if I'll be able to do it today. Depends on when my kids get up, I guess. It's been a lot of fun. Art is great. And I think it's also a lot of fun when I can just embrace the unknown and see what I can't figure out. Try something new. See what happens. The true essence of my art process. Just, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's try it. But hey, it's working out for me. Huh. What happened here? Oh, right, of course, because my... okay, I was worried for a second there. I forgot that I had the head reversed. No, everything's fine. It's all good. There we go. Face back on. You know, I've never actually done that before. That was funny. Speaking of embracing new things. Embrace the scuff. Alright. Well, yeah, I think this should look pretty good once I get the hair on to cover some of this edge here, where it's kind of all being sucked in. I'm just seeing if I like the cheeks. But I think this matches the shape of her face well enough. So yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's see. I'm not going to worry about the corners yet because those are going to be a complete mess until I just figure out what the heck I want to do there. But in terms of just the straight up and down, yeah, I think that's looking nice. Okay. So I guess this means it's time to start putting hair on it. Although, no, I have to do the shadows first. Okay. And I need to copy the head deformation up over onto the headline. I did get it right. Okay. There we go. And we'll see if I feel like getting rid of that line there. You know, I just said I was looking forward to doing the head shadows, and then I just, like, completely forgot about them. I might be a little bit scatterbrained today. Okay, it happens. So we're gonna make the shadows a bit more prominent at the bottom. Pull everything on here, and at least the shadows are actually asymmetrical, so don't have to worry about having them match quite as hard as I needed to for the jaw and head shape itself. Alright, so we're gonna push those shadows, like, way up there. Something like that. Yeah. Not completely in the right place yet, but that's the idea, and I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I think I actually do want to push the corners of the jaw in a little bit. I think that might be sticking out too much. Making her face look a little bit harder than it should. I'm just casually changing my mind. It happens all the time. But today my husband and I finished watching Mob Psycho 100. It's a slightly older anime. I believe that its run was finished in 2017. But I do recommend it. I thought the ending was still pretty solid. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the anime change at the end, basically putting in an epilogue. But I can agree that it probably needed some kind of epilogue. Just because I remember when I first read the manga that it was, I wasn't actually aware that it was done. I was like, oh, is this still ongoing? But no. No, it was done. It just needed a little something to kind of, I don't know, tie the little bow at the end. And make it clear that this is where everything was done. So in that sense, I thought the anime did it better, but at the same time, it almost, parts of it seemed a little bit strange. It's like, man, all this talk of self-acceptance and accepting and using psychic powers as a metaphor for that, and at the end he doesn't use the psychic powers at all. I thought that was maybe the one thing that was missing for me. But it was nice to see him laughing, at least. Embracing the other parts of his personality that he had largely suppressed because of that. So that part was good. Overall, I don't think it was, like, bad or anything. There was just something missing. Alright, it's looking like I have the jaw almost symmetrical again. almost symmetrical. I think I might need to clean that up a little bit, but... Alright, let's flip this around. What I do when I flip it around like this is I just look at one specific point. So in this case, it's right here. And see if it kind of lines up. And, like, this isn't 100% symmetrical, but I think it's close enough that no one will notice. Alright, so I just want to make everything a little bit smoother here. Felt like it was a little bit choppy. Now that everything is, I think, just it's symmetrical enough that I can just focus on getting everything nice and smooth. I do want her skin to look very nice and smooth. I definitely don't want her face to be looking lumpy. This area is pretty important, so definitely want to take my time and just really make sure that I have all these areas looking really nice. Okay. Now I think I'm going to do the same for the side of her head, although I do think that this area is going to be mostly covered by hair. So maybe I don't need to worry about it. I'll worry about it just a little. Just on the areas where it's kind of coming right up here. Just because I'm not quite sure how all the hair is going to shake out, and I don't want to feel like I have to have it covering certain areas. Admittedly, when it comes to using hair to cover stuff that I don't like about my art, I do it all the time. I feel like that's one of the upsides to the ultra floofy anime hair. Is that if you're like, man, I don't want to figure out how to make this look symmetrical or whatever else. It's like, you don't have to. Just cover it with hair, it's fine. No one will ever know. Okay, that should probably be good enough. Yeah, I think so. Okay, headline. And let me actually make sure that I have this. Okay. Yep, we're good. Do not have it randomly reversed. Okay. Now let's start getting those shadows back on there. Oh man, it's scary to think about that once I have all the head shadows looking good here. That's gonna be going back to hair. The hair will continue to haunt me forever. It was like just yesterday that I finally finished the hair. I actually think it was just yesterday. Now I'm gonna be jumping right back in. I've always said, when it comes to anime, you can never escape the hair. The hair will always find a way to suck you back in. Alright. So I think I have most of it in. I just need to focus on this area underneath the nose now. So if I'm... yeah. This needs to be, like, way up here. And then I'm paying close attention to the little shadow under the nose here. Getting all of that into the right place. This is going to be the moment of truth where I see if the mouth is too far away. The nose, and I think it is, actually. So let's lift it up a little, and fortunately with the way I have the shadow, this actually does not make her chin look massive. Which is what I was afraid of before I put the shadow on. So I was just worrying a little bit too much. Okay, that sounds like me. I often find myself worrying too much about silly things. I feel like I can even push the nose a little bit higher. Okay, yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. So let's see here. Now I can go back to worrying about the shadow underneath the nose here. Trying to get him going into the right spot. Just like that. Yeah, something like that. Alright, and as I just slowly start getting these shadows into the right place here, I don't know, how's everyone doing today? I've been doing pretty good. Last night is the first night that I felt like I slept in probably 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm feeling really good today. Just have like all the energy. Looking forward to seeing what I can do with it. Maybe go play some silly pretend games with my kids, because I've been wanting to do that lately. They're very cute in that regard. It's like the younger one is just starting to really figure out how to express himself well enough to kind of convey stories and stuff. Provided he has props to kind of help him show the ideas rather than using strictly words. And so that's been really exciting to watch. He's very cute. He has these couple of cat stuffed animals that he really likes to do stuff with, and he always hands one to me so that I can be the mommy kitty. And I can make the mommy kitty go do stuff. Alright. I do think it is probably time for hair. There might still be some things around the eyebrows and stuff that I tweak, but I kind of like to do a lot of finishing touches stuff after I do the hair, and probably after I do the corners too. Oh my goodness. What is this? It's beautiful. Okay. Hair on. Let's go. Once I find it. Oh, because I collapsed it. Okay. Okay, now I have to think about how I'm gonna go about this. Let me think here. I think I'm just going to use the mesh group to push things down. So with this kind of angle, we're going to be seeing more of the top of the head. I think I want to push everything down a couple of clicks. But from there, looking at the front just to see how far away this connecting point on the bangs is from her eyes. You can see it's about that far. So now I want to get that part down about where it should be. I'll worry about moving the other parts after, but I'm going to start with these. Okay, so here it should look a little bit closer. Yeah, just a little. Alright, and how does it look on her nose? So that means that I probably want here a little bit higher. I think it'll cover up a little bit more of her nose, just due to the angle. But that was a little bit extreme there. So now I'll lower some of this down just to smooth things out a little. Alright. And now I want to get a little bit of perspective. Actually, I think I will this little back down. And I'm just going to move everything in the middle here up. And then everything on the sides down. The things are still going to look a bit strange for a little while, but that's fine. That's completely normal and expected. Okay, so how's this for like an initial sketch? Yeah, getting there. Definitely getting there. So now this is where I start tweaking things a little bit. Probably want here, this row, to be a bit higher. Which also means that this row should be a little bit higher. Start rounding things out a bit, and then I think just everything up in this like quadrant needs to be a little bit higher. Kind of similar idea on this side. Here should probably be a little bit higher. Here, a little bit higher. And then everything just in this quadrant, a little bit higher. I feel like the stuff on the side here is getting a little bit too low. So I'll just grab like all of this a little bit higher. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. That definitely seems a bit better. And I should be able to get into the meat of this pretty well tomorrow. Just gonna make small adjustments today. I might even get started on the up angles as well, since I don't think I have enough time to make too much progress on this today. Let's see, I think this top area is moving a little bit too up. I'm just gonna grab like everything here, push it down just a little. Or I guess I should say that the top area was like not moving at all, and I want it to move a little bit. Some of this can really only be done by messing with individual strands. But this will be a start. I just want to make it clear that we're seeing a little bit more of the top of the head here. I'm trying to move the vertices accordingly. Make it look like we're seeing a little bit more of the top of the head. Yeah. Now everything's kind of moving down a bit. And so I think that's a good place to start. This is where I can start going in onto each individual strand and start placing them in better places. But this gives the gist of what I'm trying to do here. Over here on the side, I think, like, right here still, maybe a little bit strong. Okay, yeah, now it looks like the claw and this other tuft of hair is moving at about the same rate. As before, one of them is clearly moving more than the other. And we're just not going to mind the ears for now. I'll do the ears after I get a little bit further in the hair. Okay. Let's get started with the up angle too. Once again, not going to do a lot. Just gonna get it started. Just gonna get it started. And I think I want to move everything like a few clicks up. So here we're going to be seeing a lot less of the top hair. So I'm going to be squishing everything. Okay. Looked like my internet died for a second there. But it looks like I'm back. So hello again, everyone. Just here doing a quick sketch for how I'm going to be handling the other hair here. Or not the other hair, but the up angle. Something like that. Probably moving the sides too much here, but I think this one's looking pretty good for a start. Well, I was getting a little bit too excited here, so I want to move him back down a little bit. And then I think I want to push the sides here down a little. Yeah, there we go. That's a start. Not liking the down as much. I might redo it. Yeah, I think I will, actually. Maybe not. Well, I like enough of it that I think redoing it is a bit too much, but let's just go and fix the areas that I don't like. That's probably a more sensible way to do it than just completely starting over. Just make some adjustments around here. Don't have to worry about stretching things out a bit since we are seeing more of the top of the head here. Just kind of felt like everything on the side was getting a little bit too, I don't know, a little bit too far down. So I'll just bring it back up a little. See if that'll make it look a little bit better. That is the upside of working with motion and animation like this, is that sometimes the mistakes become a lot more obvious once you make them move. And that can be used to help root out issues. My goodness. Everything just looks... The corners just always look so funny before you go and fix them. The corners for this are going to be a nightmare though, aren't they? I think they might be, yeah. Okay, I can handle it. I got this. I might just cry a little bit. I'll be okay though. I will definitely be okay. This might be a little bit painful. It's okay. The corners really do tend to be pretty rough. This seems to be kind of a fact of rigging sometimes. The computer does its best to help you out, but it just doesn't know what to do. Just does not know what to do. Not at all. Computers are very silly and very dumb. They will listen to you perfectly and obediently. They just do not necessarily understand. So it looks like I'm going to have to be a little bit more particular about how I do things here. I normally just use mesh groups like this for perspective and stuff. But here I'm trying to roughly block in where everything is going to go. Man, her eye looks kind of spooky there. It's great. Suits her very well, I think. Alright. Okay, yeah, that's better. That is definitely better. I think I want to bring down the sides here. And we'll see what the me of tomorrow thinks about all this. If I'm ready to jump into fixing all the individual strands, or if I want to do some more tweaking with the mesh group first. Mesh group is nice because I can move every single strand of hair all at once. But I can't do anything too precise with it. So yeah, it looks like up and down is going to be a much softer turn than my side to side was. But I do think that they're a bit harder to do, so... Alright. I think this is a good start. And so, this is where I will also end for today. So tomorrow, we're gonna go back into hair. And we'll do nice hair for the downturn. And maybe the upturn if I don't know, get lazy. See, unlike left and right here, where they're largely mirrors of each other, I can do up and down at the same time if I happen to feel like it. Actually, I guess I could have done left and right at the same time since the hair wasn't symmetrical, but for whatever reason I didn't. Probably focus mostly on down. But for today, this will be where I end. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any other creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll take a look. Maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.